control, left brain structure. And so they've had to control us who have the potential to be infinite possibility, having an experience in this reality, which is what we are. We have to be put in a smaller box than them. And so what they're working on is intellectual knowledge, if you like, of how reality works, and therefore how they can manipulate it, and suppressing the knowledge among humans of how reality works, so they are in a position of power. If I know things of great significance and other people don't, I'm in a position of power over them. That's why we've had the suppression of knowledge and the passing it over through the secret society network to the chosen few. Knowledge is power. That's what it's about. But it's intellectual knowledge. It's cleverness, not wisdom, that they work with. They're very clever. The way they've structured society to get the outcome they want is very clever, but it isn't wise. And cleverness without wisdom is the most destructive force on earth. It's very clever to create an atomic bomb. It's not very wise to do so. They are not the same thing. And so we're not dealing with an all-powerful force here. We're dealing with a frightened, fearful, frightened of not surviving, insecure force that needs to control to pander to its own insecurity and fear of non-survival. So when we come out of the box, as we're coming out of the box, this force ceases to have that power over us because we're no longer in a smaller box than it's in terms of knowledge and awareness. And I always use this analogy of the ball on top of the water, on top of the tank. You know, when you go through all these different levels of how we are attacked mentally, emotionally, and physically to suppress us and to hold us in the box, in the bubble, that tells us something about us, which people don't realize. Oh, it's negative. No, it's not negative. It's extremely positive if you want to use those terms, because it's telling us who we really are. The level of suppression on multi-levels, in multi-ways, that they've had to go to and continue to go to hold us in servitude shows the potential of genius and magnificence that we really are. And that's our natural state, is multidimensional connection. We are in an unnatural state. We've been manipulated into it, one of disconnection, of awareness of that. And if you take the analogy of the ball, if you push a ball, or you want to put a ball in an unnatural state, i.e. on the bottom of a tank instead of at the top, its natural state, then you have to push it down and you have to hold it there. You have to hold it there because once you let go, boom, natural state. And so what they're doing is throwing all this stuff at us to symbolically hold us at the bottom of the tank in an unnatural state. What we think are norms and the way life is and the way humans are is actually anything but the norm. It's the way we've been suppressed into. It's not our true natural state, which is multidimensional connection in this world, experience it but not of it, and awareness of being not of it while we're experiencing it. That's our natural state. And we're now getting the opportunity as this information comes to light, and for other reasons I'll come to in a second or so, or a minute or so, that we just need to open that telescope, to open ourselves to a greater level of awareness and allow it to come in. You know, people say, when's the cavalry coming? Well, you know, the cavalry ain't coming because it's already here. It's in the space that we are occupying, in the space that we are experiencing now, are all those levels of consciousness which, when connected with, will bring us to a state of awareness and potential for creativity that we would think was beyond belief at the moment. It's there. And it's not the cavalry has to come to us, it's we need to go to the cavalry, because what it is, it's always there. We just need to open our minds so we can connect with its level of vibration. The idea of this crowd is to lower our vibration at the body consciousness level so that there is a disconnection vibrationally with higher states of consciousness. Because when you look at fear and its sub-parts like stress and guilt and all the rest of it, all this stuff they leave behind when they go into a near-body state or a right brain state, left brain shut down like Jill Bolte Taylor. When you rid yourself of those emotions, you start to realize, as these people have, the nature of who we are. But what we're looking at the moment, this time, is the opportunity to expand our consciousness so that we vibrationally connect with the cavalry. The level of consciousness, the level of awareness, the point of observation that is just there waiting for us to connect with it. So when you are in a state of fear, and all these other sub-emotions that I talk about of fear, they are low vibrational emotions. What we talk about when we're in those states, God, I feel so heavy today. Oh, I feel so dense. Yes, because the energy field, your energy field, slows down vibrationally when we get in those states, and there is a disconnection from higher states of awareness. To do with vibrations, it's to do with frequency connections and all the rest of it. So it's up to us to open ourselves to these levels of consciousness, and not for those levels of consciousness to come down here to where the state we're in. Why? Because they can't. Because of the level of consciousness they're at, they're vibrating to a certain frequency, and if we're down here, never the twain shall meet. We need to go and connect with it. And it's when you open your mind and your consciousness and you start to make those connections, that's when suddenly you think, why didn't I see it before? I can see it now. We're in control of this, not some bloody entities shape-shifting themselves around the sodding world. We're in control. That's the great secret they don't want us to know. Absolutely it is. So this is the level at which the change will take place. And when that takes place, our awareness changes, our level of consciousness changes. This changes because this is a projection of our level of consciousness. The projection, if we start looking out there, then we're in trouble. It's in here. It's when we do that we start getting out of the box. It's a vibrational escape and a vibrational getaway car caused by us changing and opening to a higher level of consciousness. Now, this is doing the rounds quite a lot at the moment. The law of attraction, they call it. I've been talking about this for years in terms of what you put out is what you pull back. But I think there are a lot more elements to it than some people seem to think. When you are in a certain vibrational state because of your emotional, mental state, all the rest of it, you're putting out a vibration that reflects that. It's like I call it magnetic attraction, basically. Vibrational magnetism, I call it. And that is going to lock into vibrational fields of like frequency, and it's going to draw them towards you like a magnet. So what you put out, you lock into and draw towards you. When people, I've met so many people that keep attracting the same kinds of people into their lives. And I'm watching it and I'm thinking, soddy hell, not another one. It's like it's just the same as that last bloke and the one before him. Why? Because what's going out ain't changing, so what's coming in isn't changing. Because what we draw into us as relationships and jobs and experiences and all that stuff is a reflection, a holographic reflection of us. We all live in our own little universes, really. There are points where we share the same basic reality, but we live in our own universes because what we're putting out is what we're drawing towards us. The question is, how do we change what we're putting out? Fear. We attract to us what we most fear. When I was a kid, I was terrified of dogs when I was a kid. And whenever I went out, the dogs always came for me. I mean, it really, I mean, honestly, you got a complex. I lived on I have a council estate in Leicester, and it's full of houses now, this place, but there was a green in the center of it. And as I walked across, I used to get the bus. It was only one stop. I used to get the bus in the end to avoid going across this green, because I went across this green, the dogs came out for me. Row, row, row. My mates left them alone. And we go, hey, bloody hell, why am I so unlucky? Why me? I'm frightened of dogs and they come for me. You're not frightened, they're near you. Why? Vibrational attraction. Same with the things we like. We can attract them. Relationships. Relationships are a vibrational attraction. We draw them in. When we sync with people, we sync with them energetically, you have a relationship. Then, for whatever reason, someone might change, and their energetic field changes, their magnetism changes, or whatever, their vibrational field changes, and suddenly it's not syncing with that person anymore. In the holographic play-out world, we say that relationship has broken down, and they've parted. Well, they've parted vibrationally. And sometimes, you know, that's good, because you get things from each other and you learn from each other, and then, hey, it's time to move on and have other experiences. But it's the vibrational connection that draws them in. It's the same with jobs. It's the same with luck. Luck. Why are some people lucky and why are some people unlucky? Because what they're putting out is what they're drawing towards them. I watch in sport and football and stuff, and sports people. These people that they get so close to winning, but they never quite can win. It's almost like they're frightened of winning. And when I observe some of this stuff psychologically, it's almost as if they can't believe that it's possible for them to win. Oh no, that happens to other people. It doesn't happen to me. So when you get to that point where you're just about to achieve, somehow in the holographic play-out world, you manifest something that actually stops you winning, even though it seems to be no problem, it's going to happen. And it's what people call having a self-destruct button. Just when you're about to achieve something, where's the button? Boom! Oh, something's happened, and it doesn't achieve what is obviously going to happen. It's because of the energy we're putting out, which is a reflection of our mental and emotional state. And one real big energetic magnetic attraction of reality is intent, I've found. Intent. An intent, this is what I'm going to achieve. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I will do. When that intent goes out, it goes out as a vibrational field, and it draws back towards us all that we need to achieve that intent every time. The thing is, at this point, it breaks down with so many people because what they need to experience to achieve the intent they say they want is not something they'd like to experience. So I'll bugger that for a game of soldiers. I'm not having that. I don't want it that badly. And when we start to transform, things start to change in our energy field. When that happens, things that we were drawing towards us in the old energetic state are not making a vibrational synchronization anymore. And so again, in the holographic play-out world, relationships break down, or you lose your job, or you move home, or something happens. Your life changes in the play-out world of the projected holographic reality because what's projecting it has changed. And so when we put out an intent, this is what I want to do. I want to expand my mind. I want to open my mind. I want to connect the true magnitude of who I am. There are things that come towards you that you don't often like very much, but it's necessary to break down those structures within us so that that intent can be fulfilled. There's this DVD that's been going around for a little while now called The Secret, which is based on the law of attraction.